Cheesh, Awa, Tuxuk Newsome, Salamat, thank you, and welcome to Juneau Afternoon. I'm Boston Christopher. Today, the Juneau String Ensembles Chamber Music Night is Saturday, February 28th at 7 p.m. at Thunder Mountain Middle School. We'll chat with a couple of members from Aurora Strings about the upcoming show. And Theater in the Rough Weekend of Revolution features a self-help cabaret and a reimagining of the classic play Antigone. We'll take a look at those two events coming up. And the Juneau Chamber of Commerce has a relatively new executive director, Becca Parks. Becca will be here to share a little about her work and some of the upcoming events from the chamber. Those conversations coming up this hour on Juneau Afternoon from your community-supported public media station, KTOO. Or you can catch us on our live stream on KTOO's YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram pages. Also, a programming note, Bird Note, a segment often played on Juneau Afternoon, will be featured in replace of Juneau Afternoon tomorrow with a full hour-long episode. It's called Words in Flight. It features selections from episodes of Bird Note Daily and Bring Birds Back that highlight contemporary poetry. You'll hear poets, in their own words, sharing what birds mean to them and what they teach us about ourselves and our world. Catch Words in Flight in place of Juneau Afternoon. That's tomorrow, Thursday, February 26th at 3 p.m. with a rebroadcast at 7 right here on KTOO. This is Juneau Afternoon.
You're listening to KTOO's Tlingit Word of the Week. This week's word comes from Kushtaq Bill Fawcett, and the word this week is dleit.
Dleit.
That means snow. And here's a sentence. It's really snowing. Let's hear it again.
Dleit.
Snow. Gunesh Cheesh to Juneau Lance Twitchell, Goldbelt Heritage Foundation, and the University of Alaska Southeast for this audio.
Kushtaq Ish Bill Fawcett was Slukach Ati and the child of a southern Shoshone man who passed away before Bill was born. His mother later married Sihua Bill Fawcett, who helped raise Bill. He lived on Akquan Ani and enjoyed working with advanced language learners, helping them answer difficult questions about the language.
And tune in next week for another Tlingit Word of the Week from KTOO.
Support for Juneau Afternoon comes from Tongass Federal Credit Union, a member-owned financial cooperative offering checking and savings accounts, loans, and digital financial services. In Juneau at 8585 Old Dairy Road in the K Plaza and at tongassfcu.com. Federally insured by NCUA. This is Juneau Afternoon on KTOO. I'm Boston Christopher. Our first guest today, Isabel Wilson, who is the first violinist for Aurora Strings, and Maya Breedlove, who's the concertmaster and soloist for Aurora Strings, will be performing in this weekend's Juneau String Ensembles Chamber Music Night. It's on Saturday, February 28th at 7 p.m. at Thunder Mountain Middle School. I welcome them to the studio now. Gunath Cheesh, it's a pleasure to have you both in the studio today. How are you today, Isabel?
Hi. I'm doing pretty well. I mean, we just got off from school, so...
Did you get out a little early for the interview?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just a little.
Just a little, okay.
I'm not missing much. We're just watching movies in English right now, so...
Okay, that's nice. And, of course, welcome to you as well, Maya.
Yeah, I'm doing good. Thank you.
Gunath Cheesh for being here. Okay, so let's set the scene first. What is the Juneau String Ensembles and what is Aurora Strings? Start with those two organizations.
Okay, well, Juneau String Ensembles is basically this program that allows string musicians specifically to get an opportunity to play in an orchestra with kids around their level and just learn new skills, like learn how it is like playing with an orchestra. There's two orchestras in our program. We've got Ursa Major, which is like at intermediate level, and then Aurora Strings, which Maya and I are in. And these are like the more advanced students, so it's like high school, maybe some middle schoolers, and then Ursa Major is going to be like mostly middle school maybe even a couple like elementary.
I see. Okay. So how early can you start in the Ursa Major program?
About elementary school, it's typically middle schoolers in Ursa Major and high schoolers in Aurora Strings, but we have some elementary schoolers in Ursa Major.
I see.
Yeah,
And of course, I just want to mention the website real quick. Juneau String Ensembles with an S.org is where you can go and learn a little bit more about the organization. You were going to say, Isabel?
Yeah, I think when I was just saying, like, you were asking about when people can start in Ursa Major. I think I was like either 5th or 6th grade when I first joined.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
And what made you want to get into it? Was it something that your parents made you do at first, or did you say, hey, I want to do that?
So I started playing violin via the jam program, like kindergarten violin.
Sure.
And then afterwards, I ended up getting lessons with Mr. Shaw, and he introduced me to playing in like small groups. Maya and I were both in mini fiddlers, which we were in elementary school, and then slowly moved up to Ursa Major and then Aurora Strings. So, yeah, we've been playing together for a while now.
Now, Maya, I know your dad's over here in the room. How did you get into playing the violin?
Yeah, I actually started with piano, but
Okay.
the elementary schoolers in Juneau have a really good jam program, and so I found interest in violin. So I immediately started taking private lessons with Mr. Shaw, who's the director of Juneau String Ensembles, both Ursa Major and Aurora Strings. And I joined Mini Fiddlers, which isn't a group anymore, but it used to be a group for mainly elementary schoolers.
Okay.
So me and Isabel were actually, I think, 6 years old and 8 years old when we joined Mini Fiddlers together.
Oh, man, you two have been playing together forever.
Yeah.
That's really cool. And do you learn from each other? Like, do you
absolutely.
practice together and be like, oh, I can't get this note. Can you help me, show me how to do the finger combination or anything?
For sure. We're in multiple groups together, and we usually are stand partners. So stand partners, we share fingerings and bowings, and we learn from each other in that way.
I see. Okay. Do you ever have any disagreements on how a piece of music should be played?
Sometimes, like, I think less about, like, how it's played, but, like, more about, like, fingers and, like, shifting. Like, she'll have one and I'll have one, and we'll either just, like, use our separate ones or...
Yeah, sometimes it can be difficult for stand partners because we share the same thing in music. So when we have different fingerings, maybe one of us will write it on the top and the other will write it on the bottom. And
I see. And why are there different fingerings? Explain that to me.
Well, so if you think about it, there's more than one, like, finger you can use to, like, play a note. Like, so when you shift, you, like, move your hand up the fingerboard, and you could play, like, say a D with, like, your third finger, or you could do it with, like, your first finger if you're in a different position. So there's lots of different ways to, like, play a single note or a single sequence of notes.
Okay.
So
And some violinists might find it easier to like shift to a certain position, while another violinist might not find that easier because they haven't played pieces with that position much.
Does it have to do with, like, the coordination of your fingers, like, or the
Yeah.
size of your hand or something like that?
I mean, sometimes with hand sizes, like, sometimes you'll have to, like, stretch, and my hands are kind of small, so
Sometimes
it's
it
kind of
is
hard to do
flexibility, yeah.
Yeah.
Flexibility. That's really cool. And so let me ask this question, and we'll talk about the concert here in a second. But what grades are you in now, Isabel?
I'm a senior.
Senior, and Maya?
And I'm a junior.
You're a junior. Okay. So I'm going to start with you, Isabel. So you're about to graduate. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Do you plan on continuing music as you go further on in your life?
Yeah, absolutely. I think I would like to take a couple music classes in college if they're available, maybe even join a symphony. Maya is actually a part of the Juneau Symphony right now. Yeah, and I thought that would be a good opportunity to take part of, maybe now, but also definitely when I graduate and when I join college. So I don't want to stop performing.
What do you feel like you might major in college? Do you know?
Education. I like kids, and specifically little ones. Sorry. And I don't know. I just really like teaching them and learning from them as well.
I see. Okay, that's kind of cool. And what about you, Maya? You got one more year of school.
Yeah, so right now in college I do plan to major in neuroscience, with maybe a minor in music, but even if I don't minor in music, I still plan to join a college orchestra.
I see. Okay. What are you going to do with neuroscience? What do you want to do?
I want to become a neurologist.
Neurologist. Because I was thinking, like, there's people who, and I think there's somebody in town who does it now too, there's like music therapy. right? Which is kind of interesting. And I didn't know if like neurologists, do you like operate on people when you do that, or is that something else?
Yeah, neurosurgery is a part of a neuroscience, but I do not plan to go into neurosurgery.
Okay. That's kind of cool. Yeah, music therapy is really interesting to me, like the idea of, using that to help people. I had one on a couple years ago, and they were talking about, it helps people who maybe have had an accident or something like that, and their brain needs restructuring, and the music is used to help them, get back into, occupational or therapeutic kind of ways, which is really cool. It's kind of fascinating. Okay, so this concert that's happening on Saturday, it's the Chamber Music Night. It's February 28th. It's at 7 p.m. It's at Thunder Mountain Middle School. What are we going to be hearing on Saturday?
So you're going to be hearing a lot of different types of music. We have both of our orchestras playing. We actually have a couple pieces that we'd like to play for everybody.
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, so the first one we want to do is called the Butterfly Lover's Concerto. Do you want to talk more about?
It's a famous
style?
piece of Eastern music.
Okay.
And our director, Mr. Shah, he's very familiar with Chinese music, being Chinese himself. And he introduced me to this piece and offered me to solo for it with Aurora Strings. It's a really beautiful piece of Eastern music.
Oh, wow.
And then Hoedown by Aaron Copland is very different. It's a piece of Western music with a lot of like double notes and string crossings and all the parts of Western violin music.
That's so interesting, and that's two of the pieces. Are there other pieces that you'll be doing as well?
Yeah, we have a lot of different ones. We have a couple pieces by Mozart. We got one by Beethoven that we're actually going to be playing in collaboration with Ursa Major, along with this song called Tibetan Dances. I forget what songs Ursa Major is playing.
That's okay. If we don't know
yeah,
what you know what you're doing.
I know
That's
what
what's
we're doing.
important.
Yeah.
And how many people are in the Aurora Strings? How many members? Is it a lot?
I mean, I think Ursa Major is bigger. Aurora would be about like
I'd say
20-ish?
Yeah, 20 or under.
Okay.
Yeah.
And Isabel said, Maya, that you also play with the Juneau Symphony. How'd you get involved with that?
Yeah, so actually a few years ago, Aurora Strings collaborated with the Juneau Symphony,
Yes.
and ever since then I wanted to join, so I auditioned about a year and a half ago, and I've been playing with concerts with them ever since.
I see. That's really cool. Congratulations on that. That's
you.
so fun. So in this concert, you've just named like Mozart, Beethoven, all these other things that you're going to be doing, the Hoedown, the Butterfly Concerto. Which one's your favorite, Maya?
Gosh, I'd have to say Hoedown is my favorite because it's a really challenging piece of music, but it's very rewarding. If you practice a lot, you can get the really high notes and really fast notes, and it's really fun to play with a group of chamber music with a bunch of other strings.
Yeah, when you were playing it before we started on air, warming up, I was like, wow, that is a fast piece of music. That's a lot of fun. Mm-hmm. What about you, Isabel?
Actually, first fun fact about Hoedown, we played this song in New York at Carnegie Hall. We were invited.
What?
Yeah, we were invited in 2022 for the Sounds of Summer Festival. Maya and I were second violinists back then, and we played that piece as our final song for the set, and everybody loved it. And now, like 4-ish years later, we get to play it again.
As first violinist.
Yeah.
That is so awesome.
Mm-hmm.
That's really cool. What was that Carnegie experience like?
Well, we got to see New York, which is something I didn't think that I would get to do in my lifetime.
A little bit different than Juneau, huh?
A lot different than Juneau. Like, less mountains, more buildings.
Right.
Yeah, but it was really fun, just like walking the streets in our concert uniforms, like on our way to Carnegie. I think we got pizza beforehand, which was fun. We got to see the Statue of Liberty. We were on a boat, which was fun.
Very cool.
And we got to play at one of the parks. I forget which one, but it was pretty fun. I mean, minus the helicopters.
There's a classic dad joke. I don't even know if you've heard it. Maybe you did it for Carnegie Hall. Do you know how you get to Carnegie Hall?
Practice.
Practice, practice, practice. There you go.
Practiced those songs for 2 years.
2 years.
And we were supposed to go during COVID, but you know.
I remember we did have an interview after you all came back. I remember talking about that it was supposed to be a COVID trip or that time period, and then you had to cancel it.
Yeah, but it led us to practice for 2 more years, so
Wow.
Yeah.
definitely
was
performed
really
better
cool.
than we would have.
That was really cool.
I still remember all the Zoom practices, like all the sectionals, and then practicing, but everybody's like super spread out and we all have masks on, so like you're just there with your stand partner,
Yeah.
but then like the next pair is like a few feet away.
It was a difficult experience.
That would be
Yeah.
that would be rough, but I'm glad it all came together. And what's going to come together? Why don't you guys get your violins, head up to the microphone up there? I'll give
thing.
these notes again about what's happening this weekend. It's the Juneau String Ensembles. You can go to JuneauStringEnsembles.org and you can find out information and get tickets for this concert, which is the Chamber Music Night. It's this Saturday, February 28th at 7 p.m. It's out at Thunder Mountain Middle School. And right now, Isabel and Maya are going to play 2 selections for us, which they talked about here in the interview. The first is the Butterfly. Did you say the Butterfly Lovers Concerto? Is that what it's called?
That's correct.
Okay. So the Butterfly Lovers Concerto. And then they'll take a little break, and then they'll play Hoedown by Aaron Copeland. So let me make sure I have everything set up here. Yeah, go ahead. Take it away. Okay, that's the Butterfly Lovers Concerto. Now let's hear the Hoedown by Aaron Copeland. Nice. Good cheese for being here. That's lovely. You can check out the Juneau String Ensembles this Saturday. They've been working on this music since August. They're going to be playing Bach, Beethoven, Cotland, Vivaldi, and He Jean How. Is that how you say that last one? Or close? So. Yeah, close. That's going to be so great. Well, thank you so much. Good the cheese, Isabel and Maya. Appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
This is Juneau Afternoon on KTOO.
This is BirdNote. Any hobby or special interest has its own jargon. You'll pick up on the silly slang that birders use as you go, like calling the yellow-rumped warbler butterbutt. Still, learning a few basics of bird vocab is useful when you're starting out. It'll help you ask better questions when you're confused. And there's a good place to look for those vocab terms: the opening pages of a bird field guide. Most of the book is made up of species descriptions, but the first few sections have general info about what to call the different parts of a bird, basics on bird behavior, and birding tips. So it's a quick and helpful read before a trip to find birds. For now, here are a few vocab words to get you started. The feathers on top of a bird's head are called the crown. Bird vocalizations come in two general types: songs, used to attract mates, and calls, with other meanings such as alarm or just, "Hey, I'm over here." The bright white lines found on many songbirds' wings are called wing bars. Like any language, the more you immerse yourself, the faster you'll learn. For BirdNote, I'm Jonice Franklin.
Hansen Gress, Ka eat with the shuyi, we kashuk ayitin. Jin kat ka ke jin tak anakaya ha anikak, gunil cheesh.
This is Juneau Afternoon from your listener-supported public media station KTOO. I'm Boston Christopher. Last week, we chatted with Perseverance Theater about their production of Pueblo Revolt, opening this Friday, and how it was what's part of being billed as Weekend of Revolution, sort of cross-promoting with theater in the rough. Well, what other revolutionary events are making up that fun weekend? Well, today we chat with folks from the theater about both of these projects, 10 Steps to Personal Revolution, a self-help cabaret, and Antigone, We Are the Rebels Asking for the Storm, reimagines Sophocles' timeless tragedy as a rallying cry for resistance. And I welcome now to the show returning guests, Timothy Sislo, Gunachish Wasiati. How are you?
Oh, good. How about you?
Excellent. And of course, then we also have Donnie Gott returning to the show. Gunachish Donnie, how are you?
I'm all right.
I wanted to say Gunachish, and then I said Donnie, but then I put Gani in there. So it's like just one word all of a sudden.
I love it. It gives me freedom to mess up, too.
Always. That's what theater's about, right? Like practicing. And we were just talking with the young ladies from the Juneau String Ensembles about the joke of how do you get to Carnegie Hall? Practice, 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 right? And that's what theater's all about, right? Is practicing. So this cool weekend that you all have planned, Donnie, how did this idea come up? When did this germinate in terms of becoming kind of a weekend of events?
The artistic directors of Theater in the Rough, Katie Jensen, Aaron Elmore, found themselves in a place where they were going to forego doing a spring show, but we still had dates booked at the hall, and so during a board meeting, they offered those dates to board members. Do you guys want to do anything? And I said no. But Alex and Timothy piped up right away saying, yeah, we'd love to do something. And so I said, as long as I don't have to be in it or cast it or be creative in any way, I will support you guys in anything that you want to do. And so I'm going to turn it over to Tim now.
You make me think, Donnie, of that classic Chekhov line, youth.
Youth.
They have such energy, don't they?
They do. Thank the heavens for them, yes.
So, and you both are on the board, is that right?
Yes.
Okay. So, Donnie, before I talk to Tim, what's your involvement in the weekend? Are you helping to produce it a little bit, or are you just...
Well, we met and we talked about what we wanted to do, and so we came up with this concept of revolution and revolt, and Timothy, who is excellent performer, cabaret performer, drag performer, said, I want to do a cabaret. And Alex also, who is a musician, singer, wanted to do that too. And then I, being old, said, we also have to do a straight play. So I found this script, this Antigone script, and then we just kind of started taking it from there. And then the younger people, although they're not that young.
I'm still in my 30s.
Okay.
Tim's like, no, please give me the young. I'll take the young.
Yeah, they took the reins of the creative side of it.
I see. Okay.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, Alex was going to be here. Alex Curtin was going to join us, but she's under the weather today.
Yeah.
But she's directing the reading of Antigone, We Are the Rebels Asking for the Storm.
Yeah.
But we'll get back to that in just a minute. Tim, so tell me a little bit about when these dates were offered up. Had you already sort of been burgeoning inside to do like a cabaret, or what's going on?
It's something that I've done quite a bit of, like cabaret work and put together, like smaller things kind of like this that are not necessarily a full theatrical production, but still theatrical. And I've done a lot of I used to run drag bingos in Skagway, drag shows there. I'm part of the Nude and Rude Review, which is the live burlesque troupe out of Juneau and a little bit of everywhere. I've performed a little bit with Juneau Ghostlight Theater at their mixed cast cabarets as well. And so I thought it would be something that would be really fun to do. And also actually initially our idea was, what if we, alongside a script read, do like a sing-through, like a full sing-through of a musical. And then as we met, we started to realize, oh, hey, what if we created something new? What if we didn't have to, rehearse a full-scale show, but have kind of like in a cabaret setting, have people be able to rehearse a little bit more individually, and then we can all kind of come in together at the end. And so that's kind of how the cabaret idea was born.
It's so interesting, right? Like the iterative aspects of creation when you're like trying to get something thought through, and everybody has their artistic ideas, and then you sort of kind of balance that with then like resources and time, and then you go, okay, what can we do? And you just kind of keep iterating in the conversation until you come up with 10 Steps to Personal Revolution, a self-help cabaret. So tell me a little bit about this and what this is all about.
Sure thing. So basically, when we were meeting, we decided that it would be nice to have some sort of through line for the show. And as we started kind of loosely picking songs related to revolution, we were also starting to find other songs from musicals and being like, that would be so fun in the show, but how do we make it fit? And the 10 steps is how we made it fit. And so we started working with our music director, and she's also the person who wrote all of our through line for the show. Her name's Amanda Breslow.
Okay.
Amazing.
Oh, she's fantastic. She's also our drummer for the show. And we came up with the idea of well, what if it's like a 90s self-help cassette of 10 steps on how you can, be personally revolutionized. And as we were continuing with the writing process and people started submitting some of their own ideas for songs, we ended up kind of changing the storyline a little bit. So it starts off as the 10 steps, and a lot of those steps kind of relate to personal revolution, personal reflection, looking inward. And halfway through now, we kind of have it where the script changes. The recording of the 10 steps kind of dissolves when we realize that revolution is not necessarily always looking inward, but revolution is community.
Ah, interesting. Okay. I like that the steps kind of get revolutionized as well, in a sense. Yeah, that's kind of cool. Because I was going to say, give me a couple of the steps, but maybe that's not
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
Got to tear down the
right?
system.
Yeah.
Got to tear it down, start all over. So let me give the details of these just real quick, and then we'll keep talking. Saturday, February 28th, 7 p.m. is the 10 Steps to Personal Revolution, a self-help cabaret. And then on Sunday, March 1st, 3 p.m., the staged reading of Antigone, We Are the Rebels Asking for the Storm. Are both of these at McFeeters Hall?
Yes.
Okay, they're both at McFeeters Hall. And I do want to mention that all proceeds from these shows will benefit NAMI Juneau.
Yes.
So it's a nonprofit. Theater in the Rough's nonprofit anyway, but the fact that you're then giving these funds over to NAMI Juneau is just excellent. And of course, you can go to theaterintherough.org to find out more information and to get tickets. So tell me who's involved in the cabaret, Tim.
Oh gosh, we have so many wonderful local performers. I actually have a list right here. I won't name them all, but a few, of course, myself, Alex Curtin, we have Wendy Burns, Skiba Wuadi, Kylie Ferguson. We have a brand new person to town. Her name's Morgan Williams. She actually just moved to town a couple of weeks ago, and she's really fantastic. Hannah Grace Gareb. Yeah, lots of really great people. We have a fantastic band comprised of Amanda Breslow, Craig Millard, Dean Thiart, and Jake Soboloff.
Oh, wow, that's excellent. That sounds like a really fun crew. And look at you already snapping up the new talent that walks into town. Like, that's amazing. I love that. That's what's so great about our community, though, is I was just talking with somebody the other day about this, about what makes Juneau so unique. And it's like, it's just that everybody's in it together in some way. Like, we're all here. And the creative juices that flow through this city and the cross-pollination, the cross-collaboration is so wonderful to see. And you see different people working with different groups, and then they all come together or they go and do off their own. It's just amazing. It's just like, it's such a great thing. You've been here a long time, Donnie. Do you get that sense too?
Absolutely. Yeah. And it's so much fun. It's so much more fun to collaborate than to compete.
Yeah.
So, and we just make each other better.
And working with
richer.
people, and then you just kind of like say, oh, yeah, I want to work on this project with that person, and then it happens. And as opposed to like, oh, we have to get approval from, the theater gods or whatever. We have to rent a space. Like, the spaces are available, there's people there, and you can make the art happen, which is just fantastic.
Yeah, we were very lucky in this instance that, Katie and Aaron said, go for it. And they, I mean, you can make theater anywhere.
Yeah, you can. It's so true. Tim was in our last roundtable readings. We made theater right here in the studio.
Yeah.
Kind of fun. So then this play that you found, Antigone, We Are the Rebels Asking for the Storm. Tell me about how it reimagines the classic tragedy.
It's from the translation by Ken Cavender, who's I think does great work, and then it's adapted by a man named Matthew Minesino, who is out of, I believe, New York, and it's just a modernization of the Antigone story. So there's newscasters, there's radio, there's sort of the chorus is kind of like if Facebook posts could speak, and the language is modern and strong. It does have some strong language in it. And that's basically it. The story is exactly the same. The story is essentially the same. The nature of the speech is exactly the same. It's just the language is really, really modern.
It's sort of making it accessible for a modern audience.
Totally.
Yeah.
But
the
very
themes
much so.
of that show, because people who may or may not recognize Antigone, that's probably something you read in high school. If you're not a theater person, you probably had to read it for some class, or maybe in college if you studied any literature or whatnot. But the themes would still resonate today.
Absolutely. And this adaptation makes that very clear. You're like, oh, we humans have been doing this forever. When will we learn?
Let that question linger. When will we learn? And so is this something that you maybe want to do as a full production sometime? Or is this like is it a big cast? Is it huge?
It's not a huge cast.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it's an excellent script.
Yeah.
I read a play every week that I'm like, I'm going to do this play. So I don't want to get too excited, but it'll be great to hear it. It's really, really great to hear it read aloud. There's some really awesome performers.
Yeah, please tell us about who's in it.
I will tell you now. We've got Kylie Ferguson, Noah Carlson, Connor Lundrum, Maria Gladaszewski, Becca Gagin, Max Rosen, Hannah Gareb, Grady Wright, Timothy Sislow, Jim Curtin, the director's dad, Dan Wayne, Margaret Shorey, Esther, who's a Jesuit volunteer whose last name is Steinke, thank you. Sorry, Esther, we love you. And Patty Kalbrenner. And myself.
Wow, that seems like a pretty big cast.
Well,
actually.
the chorus makes up a lot of
sure,
it, right?
Sure. Okay, yeah.
So you have those core characters, Creon,
Right.
Haman, Antigone, but then you have the chorus chiming in here and there.
As my very first play
Mm-hmm.
in high school, the thing that sent me down the rabbit hole of theater for my entire life was Antigone.
Mm-hmm.
I played the third guard.
Yeah.
I had like two little scenes or something. I don't know. I was like a freshman or a sophomore in high school. So
Yeah.
there's this play has been around. My partner did an indigenous adaptation last year called Antigone, and it was really interesting because it took the same story but set it in like modern museums, and like there were indigenous remains that were in the museum, and so fighting for. I mean, you should read it.
That's
It's
very cool.
It's really cool. I mean, you could do like a whole series of Antigones
Yeah,
that
you could.
Yeah.
you know are based on different ideas that are happening around in the world.
Totally. I saw Antigone when I was 17 as part of the Oedipus cycle directed by
yeah.
Molly Smith.
Over at
Marta
Perseverance.
Lastowka played Antigone. I saw that play 7-8 times. I paid to see that play as a high school senior.
Wow.
It blew my mind, and it was so good. And I loved it. I've read so many adaptations. This is one of the best ones that I've read.
Oh, that's so cool. That's really great. And so, but that's the other news here is that Theater in the Rough won't be having a spring production. This is the production for the spring, is this weekend of Revolution.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, that's going to be cool. Go ahead.
I got to make sure I say that it's also cross-promoting with Perseverance Theater, so I would be not in trouble, but I would feel bad if I didn't mention that they will open on Friday night, Pueblo Revolt.
Yeah.
And then at that opening, we'll have a table so people can sign up to get seats on Eventbrite for either of ours. But also Rachel Levy will be with us for that night at Perseverance. Rachel Levy from Broken Bottle Prints, amazing block artist here in Juneau. She's created a special block just for this weekend.
Oh, wow.
And she'll be at each performance in real time making those block prints, and she'll put it on your t-shirt, she'll put it on the shirt on your back. I think she's going to bring some of her own work that's already made. She's got some patches made up of the block that she made just for this particular weekend.
Oh, that's cool.
And then Pueblo Revolt will run from Friday the 27th through Sunday the 15th of March.
Yeah, absolutely. And if you want to go back and listen to last Friday's show, I think we talked with the cast about that show, all about the revolution from 1680 in Nuevo Mexico. So what a cool weekend. What a great way to put something together. You can do something each night. You can go Friday night to the opening of Pueblo Revolt. You can go Saturday night to 10 Steps to a Personal Revolution, a self-help cabaret. I love that title, by the way.
Thank you.
And then Sunday at 3 p.m., you can go to the reading of Antigone, We Are the Rebels Asking for the Storm. All of your favorite Juneau performers making something special happen this weekend. It's very cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, Gwyneth Cheesh for being here and telling us all about it. I really appreciate it.
Thanks for having us.
Thank you.
Yeah, theaterintherough.org for more information and tickets for this weekend, and all proceeds from these shows. I think even Perseverance's Friday night opening, they're giving the proceeds from that as well to NAMI Juneau, which is really cool. So appreciate it. Timothy Sislo, Donnie Gott, Gwyneth Cheesh.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Boston.
This is Juneau Afternoon on KTOO. Support for Juneau Afternoon comes from Heritage Coffee Roasting Company, providing Juneau with locally roasted coffee for over 40 years, with cafes and drive-through locations throughout Juneau. More at heritagecoffee.com.
I'm Dr. Anthony Lazarowitz, and this is Climate Connections. In Burkina Faso, a grassroots group run by women in their early 20s trains other women to install solar panels. In Peru, a youth collective helped build a paved road to make it easier to bring water to a remote village. In Indonesia, young people partnered to provide solar electricity to food producers.
Young leaders today are building the solutions that are required for the future that we want.
But Joshua Amundsen of the Youth Climate Justice Fund says just a tiny fraction of philanthropic funding for climate initiatives flows to youth-led groups, especially in the Global South. So his fund is working to change that. Over the past few years, it's awarded more than $4 million in grants to over 100 youth-led groups around the world. Amundsen says young people may lack the education or work experience needed to get traditional grants, but many have suffered climate impacts firsthand.
Have lived through some of the worst floods in the world, have had to relocate, have become a refugee out of that.
Young people often know what solutions are needed, and they have the motivation to act. So Amundsen says they need better access to funding to build a resilient future. Climate Connections is produced by the Yale Center for Environmental Communication. To learn more about climate change, visit climateconnections.org.
Support for Juneau Afternoon comes from Emil Mackey at Country Financial, offering insurance for home, auto, and business, and life insurance to protect your family in case of death. Located in the Juneau Nugget Mall. More information can be found online or by calling 907-500-7017. You are listening to Juneau Afternoon from Studio 2K, dedicated to Carolyn Hobbs Peterson, right here at KTOO. I'm your host, Boston Christopher. I am pleased to be joined now by Becca Parks, the relatively new executive director of the Juneau Chamber of Commerce. I always think of it as, remember back in the day, advertising, it was product would say new on it. And I learned one time that they can use that language, or at least they used to be able to use that language legally or whatever, for up to a year. Oh. So, and it's like newlyweds, right? You're a newlywed for a year. So, like, there's the year idea. So you're new.
Yeah, well, I think it flows with the full year cycle of getting to know a job. I need to know the year.
You got to know exactly what's happening and all the different events that come up. But you are the new executive director of the Juneau Chamber of Commerce. And Gwyneth Chish, welcome in. Wasiyati, I hope you're doing all right today.
Gwyneth Chish, thanks for having me.
Yeah, so let's first start with you, and then we'll get to chamber business. Okay. Because you come to the Juneau Chamber of Commerce from a very varied background. Can you explain just a little bit about your trajectory? I know you got here in 20 years ago or so to Juneau. What have you been doing in Juneau these last 20 years?
Yeah, I mean, I was a classroom teacher before I moved here and moved up here and have been very much engaged in the education world. I started off at Juneau Economic Development Council, which I think is my interesting path into the chamber world. But there I was doing workforce development and really focused on our first robotics program, which is still alive and well across the state. That gave me a chance to fall in love with Alaska. I had great opportunities because it was an economic development organization to really understand the kind of big picture of the state and travel a lot. I worked with schools and students all over from Utqiagvik down into Metlakatla. I had the incredible privilege of visiting lots of villages and cities around the state. I moved from there to see Alaska Heritage Institute, where I think I became even more grateful to be in Juneau and on Tlingit Ani. loved my time there. Got to work on the opening of the Indigenous Science Building, build some really great relationships with everyone that I worked with there. And then just kind of it felt like the right time to move. I learned about this position as I was just feeling like I wanted to try something new in my career and my life that felt really important in Juneau and felt like an opportunity at a time where I think there are a lot of communities that feel really divided right now. And I love the sort of purple politics of Juneau, and I love that we really are a community-oriented group. And it feels like the Chamber is a great place for that.
We were just talking about that with the arts group that we just had on the theater group about how it's such a, we're all here together, right?
Yeah.
And it's like the business world as well is also collaborating, working together, and finding the best ways to make Juneau a wonderful place to live.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. And we just profiled the Indigenous Science Building. We had people on to talk about that building. It's such a cool, I did a class last fall, the soup making class.
Oh, great.
It was so fun, Never had mountain goat before, so I got to try mountain goat and learn about the process and the traditional foods process. So cool. So that's interesting to hear that you were part of that. So yeah, the attraction to taking this job on at the Juneau Chamber, because it's a small staff.
Oh,
right?
yeah. We're 2 3/4.
2 3/4, yeah. So it's a small staff. So when you see that job description, when you are going to apply, what is it in there that said, okay, this is something that I want to take on?
I really do think it is that love of Juneau and the appreciation for the diversified commerce opportunities that we have here and the really unique challenges we have across all of our businesses. I was talking to people about some potential business roundtables on transportation and shipping costs, on workforce retention and recruitment, on marketing and social media, just how unique some of those things are to Juneau and to Southeast, and how they are shared across industry, and how much value there is in sharing and not really feeling that competition between businesses, but understanding where those shared learning opportunities are, and I think shared advocacy opportunities are too.
So now you're 6 months in.
Wow, that makes it sound
right. It's about, because August to now is, I think, about 6 months,
Yeah.
right? Or a little more than 6 months. So what have you learned on the job so far?
I have gained a huge appreciation for the work of the Chamber and the amount of advocacy that the organization really does in the history of the organization. I am incredibly grateful for Maggie and Craig and the executive directors that came before me, and understanding how important it is for our business owners that are working incredible hours and really need to focus on the day-to-day of their businesses to have a group like the Chamber that has a really active board and is there at the assembly meetings, that's able to track what's going on up at the Hill, that's able to do some of that connecting between different businesses, and then report back out to our members.
You know what's interesting is you're making me think as you were talking that, we don't, and a lot of people take pride in this, and I think it's an interesting fact about Juneau is, we've had, and we still have some, the corporations who come in, bring the big businesses, the Home Depots, the things like that. But really, Juneau seems to be made up of small business and like people who are making it happen, making a go of it in their way here in town. Obviously, because we don't have a Barnes and Noble, we have Hearthside, right? We don't have other restaurant chains. We have no Red Lobster. We have Salt, or we have whatever it might be. Like that's really interesting, and because you've seen those big companies come in and then they sort of jet out, right? So I can understand because they're maybe not making the bottom line or whatever it is they need to do on their corporate bottom line sheet or make those numbers. But here, you're committed to, I just love the commitment that business people have here in terms of making a go of it and making it happen.
Yeah, and it is a great community of those business owners that are there helping each other, and they're here because they want to be here, not because business is easier here, not because it is necessarily the right decision for their business. Most of our small business owners aren't here to make a fortune. They're here to run a business and live here.
Yeah, absolutely. So what is happening at the Chamber currently? I know you have the weekly meetings every Thursday at noon. Where do those take place?
Well, right now we're moving around a bit. So, number one, if you're not already following our newsletter, I highly recommend going on our website and just signing up for that, because we do have a lot going on. Every Thursday, we have a luncheon. Those are open to members and non-members. We have member pricing, so it's a little bit more affordable if you are part of the organization, but we do just encourage people to come out and learn. Those topics are meant to be educational, and sometimes moving around is part of that. So today and tomorrow, we're partnering with the Juneau Economic Development Council on the Innovation Summit that's happening over at Centennial Hall. So tomorrow's luncheon will be at Centennial Hall. It's a great chance, even if you can't make the whole Innovation Summit, come take advantage of the keynote speakers. Tomorrow during lunch, they have a woman named Molly Pyle, who is a rural innovation expert. She's traveled here from Florida to present to the summit. And like I said, for a pretty reasonable price tag, you can come in and hear a top caliber speaker and be part of the huge networking opportunity, people that are here from around the state for that summit. The other part of that, I'm just going to throw it in, is a pitch contest that we're co-hosting with JEDC tonight.
Oh, tonight. Okay.
Yeah, I'll run through the luncheons, and then we can hopefully come back to the pitch contest. March 5th, we have we're going to be at Sealaska Heritage Institute. Lee Kattinger and David Russell Jensen are going to present to us on a lot of the economic impact of SHI, but then also really diving into celebration. I'm excited. It's a celebration event.
Yeah, it is.
We really want to reinforce it is a full community event. And so ways that we can pull in more of the business community and just see the economic impact and the cultural impact of having that event here in Juneau. Then on the 12th, we have Alex Pierce from CBJ coming in to share the results of their tourism, data from last season, and a little bit of a preview into this season. The 19th, we have a presentation on Alaska Pollock 101, and hopefully we'll cover a little bit more on broader fisheries. And then the 26th, we have KINY. They've had a lot of changes going on over there, and so Cliff Dumas is going to come in and update us a bit on what's been going on with that station.
I just moved. He's my neighbor. It's kind of fun.
Oh, perfect.
We were out there shoveling snow together.
Well, I hope you could come and hear the updates.
Yeah, it would be fun. That would be a lot of fun. That's so great. Yeah, so those happen every Thursday at 12.
Yep.
And you said you're bouncing around and people should subscribe to the newsletter, or do you also have like a Instagram page? Or
we're on all the things. I shouldn't say all
the
the things, but we're on Instagram and Facebook. My social media world is narrow, so that seems like all the things to me. Our website is updated, and to register, the calendar on our website is live, so you click the links on there.
Okay.
The locations are fairly set. So we're at Centennial Hall tomorrow. March 5th, we're going to be on campus at Sealaska Heritage Institute, actually in One Sealaska Plaza, the space at the bottom of the Sealaska building. And then the following three are all at the Alaska Brewing Tasting Room out in Lemon Creek.
Oh, great. Excellent. Okay, that's great. And so what else are you looking forward to coming down the line with the Chamber? I know there's big events that happen every year.
Yep.
What's coming up?
Well, we've got our two signature, really large networking events. One is on April 25th, so that's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah.
It's Spirits of Alaska. It's up at the Tram, Saturday, April 25th. I said that. And we've got distillers from all over the state coming in together to pour, and we'll have some snacks up there. And like I said, it is just a really fun networking opportunity, and just chance to taste some of the delicious things that are made around the state. And then our gala is on Saturday, October 10th. And we haven't released our theme yet for this year. It'll be coming soon. And that is at Centennial Hall. There are some tickets available through membership perks, but this year we have adjusted things, so there will be some tickets available for purchase. And that event, we sort of pride ourselves on being the formal event of the season. People go all out, and it it's a blast.
That's gonna be a big planning thing for you to work out, right?
Yes, yeah, it really is.
That's going to be a lot of fun. Let's go back real quick before we run out of time here to talk about the pitch session. I know it's happening tonight. What is that pitch session?
Yeah, I had a chance to talk about it yesterday, and someone was like, "Oh, it's Shark Tank." I was like, "Yes, that is exactly what it is."
Okay.
Slightly less aggressive, but it is a competition.
I'm out.
There's a cash prize at the end and other incentives. So these are new businesses just looking to start up that are coming and getting up in front of everybody in the audience and pitching their ideas.
Wow.
There's crowdfunded prizes supplemented by the Chamber of Commerce and a couple other donations. Grateful to AELMP and some others that have chipped in. It's just seed money. It's really great. No strings attached. So we have 5 amazing pitchers that are going to come in, talk about their businesses. And the range is a little crazy, so I'm always I'm in awe of the judges kind of sorting through how they pick a winner out of. We've got one group that's a technical solution that's really tailored to tribal organizations, Native organizations, and Rico Worrell will be there with a new series of trading cards featuring Indigenous artists. But then we also have a procurement and expediting solution.
Wow.
So the range of ideas that will be presented is pretty fun. And it just flows with the idea of the whole summit of like, look at the brilliance that's coming through entrepreneurs around the state and the opportunity that we have to start up new businesses and just encourage those individuals to stay home, stay here.
Yeah, stay here. Yeah, that's really cool. I don't know how they're going to judge the differences there. I guess they use a sliding, they use some different categories like creativity and business acumen. I don't know what it would be.
Yeah, I'll describe it at the beginning. I just got my long list of bullets on what the judging criteria are, but it's fun and the crowd gets to vote too. So I took my name tag off. But everybody who comes, you get one vote and then you can pitch in. Like I said, the prize money is largely crowdsourced.
Oh, okay.
So you buy votes. And then you can vote.
Interesting.
And then there's a judged award and there's a sort of viewer's choice. I forget what the name of the second award is.
That's cool. And the Innovation Summit is, again, happening for the rest of today and then also tomorrow. As Becca said, the luncheon for the Juneau Chamber will be in collaboration tomorrow at noon, as well as tonight's pitching session will also be collaborating with JEDC on that.
Yeah, and I'll say that I think JEDC's done a really great job of putting the event together. The speakers that we've seen so far have been great. I got to go on the innovation tours this morning, and we got to tour really some amazing businesses around town. Went and visited Barnacle Seafoods, Wild Oven.
Ooh, yeah.
It smelled great. Who doesn't want that on their morning tour? And then all their pricing is sort of pay as you can. So you go online, you can still buy in to register tomorrow. And like I said, it's a sliding scale. So
that's cool.
Really want to encourage people to come out and take advantage of it as a local learning opportunity.
I love it. Becca Parks, Executive Director of the Greater Juneau Chamber of Commerce. Here on Juneau Afternoon. You can go to junochamber.com.
That's us.
For all of the events coming up. There's a calendar on there and all that good stuff. Becca, it's great to meet you. Great to have you on the show again. And well, that doesn't right because I've met you before. So meet you in this new role. Yeah, yes. Absolutely. It's awesome. So thank you so much for coming on, Gwyneth Cheesh.
Thank you, and I hope to see you again next month.
Absolutely. That will do it for today's Juneau Afternoon. On tomorrow's show, it's Words in Flight, an hour-long radio special featuring selections from episodes of Bird Note Daily and Bring Birds Back that highlight contemporary poets. That will be in place of Juneau Afternoon tomorrow, Thursday, February 26th at 3 p.m. with a rebroadcast at 7. You can find the show online at ktoo.org/Juneau Afternoon. Live stream archives are on KTOO's YouTube page. Our theme music is by Indian Agent. Programming support comes from Country Financial, Hanson Gress, Heritage Coffee Roasting Company, and Tongass Federal Credit Union. I'm Boston Christopher, producer and host of the program, with help today from Aaron Troop. Cheers!